दुनिया की सिरमौर प्राचीन भारतीय संस्कृति की स्थापित मूल्यों और आदर्शों के अनुसार मैं सभी ऋषियों, महर्षियों, देवर्षियों और मनुष्यों को प्रणाम करता हूँ और इस देश के करोड़ों करोड़ों बुद्धिजीवियों, माताओं, बहनों को प्रणाम और छोटों को मेरा प्यार। आज मैं आपके सामने एक छोटे से टॉपिक पर अपने विचारों को उन्मुक्त भाव से व्यक्त करना चाहता हूं और उम्मीद ही नहीं बल्कि विश्वास है कि आप सारे लोग इस पर जरूर ध्यान देंगे। My dear respected ones, first of all, I would like to extend my transcendental obeisance, reverence and veneration to all the intellectuals, rishis and maharshis and great personalities and crores of countrymen. Today our topic is God. You must be surprised to know and to hear about God. Actually, God is the creator of the universe. He has made everything great or small. And we are the best, we the human beings are the best creation of God. Actually, God has created human beings, different kinds of living, non-living things, but the most peculiar thing with human beings is this, that we are gifted with intelligence, intellect and wit, and we make proper utilization of our intellect in interest of the human beings. Who is God? Where is God? This is very mysterious question. Since it is long, our ascetics, our mendicants, rishis, maharshis, sages and saints have profoundly and deeply reflected over this point. My dear, I would like to make it clear in very simple and lucid style for your information, for your understanding. In Ramcharitmanas, Goswami Tulsidas has written some dohas. Why God appears on the earth? Tulsidas wrote, विप्रधेनु सुर संतहिता प्रभुलिंग मनुज अवतार. विप्रधेनु सुर संतहिता प्रभुलिंग मनुज अवतार. This line makes it clear to you that whenever we the human beings, including all the species of life, come in hazardous condition, God naturally, without any interruption, emerges and dispels all the ignorance and fights against the devilish power and relieve the human beings from pains and sufferings. Second point is this: since time immemorial, it has been observed apparently and graphically that philosophers, social and political thinkers have been found completely engrossed, wrapped in finding accurate and exact answer to the question, who is God and where God lives. Dear, you should know God is beyond our approach. God is not subject to discussion. God is subject to belief. God is subject to belief. God always God always can be seen in all the particles of the universe. He is creator, sustainer and destroyer. In time of dissolution, every object of universe disappears, but God remains without being affected by any force or anything. Some people talk about Sagun and Nirgun. Some people talk about Sagun and Nirgun. And there is much conflict, clash and struggle over this point. But keeping this point in consideration, Tulsidas, a great poet of Hindi and true devotee of Lord Ram, makes it clear in his own words. For illustration we may see, Saguna hi niguna hi nahi kuch veda. Saguna hi niguna hi nahi kuch veda. It means there is no discrepancy or there is no variation or difference found or noticed between attributeless or indeterminate or immanent. But the thing is this, that a realization of truth is revealed. Realization of truth is revealed. When realization of truth is revealed? When a man goes in a state of samadhi or trance, in a state of trance or samadhi or in meditation, his body becomes unconscious. He loses everything that time. When he emerges or when he comes out of samadhi, he tells the people the truth of the world. Really, God is truth. And this realization which is felt by our great thinkers can be transferred from generation to generation. The thing is this, that changes take place every moment in the universe, and changes affect our physical appearance, thoughts, philosophies, doctrines, ideas, hypotheses, external behavior, but the soul, inseparable and is indistinguishable part of pure consciousness, remain unchanged without being affected by any external phenomena or occurrences. God is eternal, invincible, imperishable, invisible, indelible. God exists under all circumstances in all the ages. You believe it or not, but it is true that under all circumstances, even under adverse circumstances, God appears from time to time for removal of annihilation, for removal of destruction that take place in our life. We the people talk about Indian thinkers, philosophers, saints, sages, but here I would like to quote few lines of Wordsworth, a great English poet, and is called Father of Nature. He is called a priest in the temple of nature. He has quoted in reference of God that I felt a presence that disturbs me with elevated thoughts and a sense of sublime. Even that in India, pantheist poets like Prasad, Pant, Niral and Mahadevi Verma, they have also observed an invisible power, unseen power, imperishable power, even among the meanest creatures. And they say that God is every object and God is every object and every object is God. So I would like to say that in broad daylight of all this expression, it is also clear that we can perceive the super soul by different ways. Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna, far away from Maya, and Parabrahma Parameshwar states that there are three ways for the perception of pure consciousness God. It has been clearly stated in Gita, scripture, that there are three ways, different ways, by path of karma, by path of devotion, by path of knowledge, we can perceive God. But so far as path of devotion is concerned, it is said that it is the easiest means. It is also easy for the common people, those who are illiterate. By path of devotion, they can approach God. They can approach God, and after realization of truth, they can deliver a very electrified, magnified and justified lecture to attract the attention of the audiences. In this regard, we must surrender ourselves by head, hand and heart to the will of God, because God is the supreme power. That light never extinguishes. All the light of the world extinguishes with the passage of time, but this light never dies. This is imperishable. Imperishable. And we must give up all the mundane evils deep rooted in our life, like anger, greed, selfishness, jealousy. Then it is possible for us that we can go in contact of Sadguru. Without going in contact of Sadguru, we can't have any good company, we can't have any good knowledge. So it is stated in Ramcharitmanas, Binu satsang viveka na hoi, Binu satsang viveka na hoi, Rama kripa binu shulabh na hoi. If you want to go in close association of good company, company of ascetics, company of people of noble thoughts, noble sentiments, then it is possible for you that you can get the blessing and grace of God. Lord, pure consciousness showers grace and blessing upon us when we are free from the uncontamination, when we are free from the worldly uncontamination. We should not be entangled in complications and implications, because complications and implications lead us towards the dusty road, which is covered with evils, and it's quite impossible for us to perceive God, because we are completely wrapped in worldly evils. So once again, I would like to express my views, my opinion, my thoughts, my hypothesis before you all, that nothing is done or nothing can be achieved without God's grace. If you want to make your life active, successful in any direction of the world, then you must surrender yourself unto the will of God. What is God? Where God lives? I have already stated it. God is found in every atom, every particle of the universe. And those who are sitting in the caves, on the river valleys, and day and night they are making their best endeavor to perceive God by their devotional songs, by leading austerities, they perceive God. And after realization of truth, after perception of truth, they come to the society and expose their experience about gods and about function of God. God is not a matter of confliction. Devotion is required pure spotless mind, pure heart is required. You may reach the temple, but you can't reach God. Your objectives should be very clear, that you should give up all the evils, because all the evils fit are man's, and man becomes the subject of illusion, man becomes the subject of bondage. And those who are in bondage, those who are in illusion, cannot perceive God. I want to tell the people that they should understand the objective of life. The objective of life is not the accumulation of riches and prosperity. In spite of knowing the futility, and in spite of knowing the futility of life, man hungers, man longs, man desires for material goods. My dear, you must know, all worldly ambitions, achievements, material possessions and gains may be acquired, may be achieved, may be obtained by legal process, and they come to an end with the passage of time. One day in the long journey of your life, nothing remains with you, only remains cry of lamentation and frustration with you. And when all the energies and physical strength of your body, of your life come to an end, that time you remember God. God comes and hears your grievances, but you have spent the cream period of your life. So it is also advised to all the human beings, those who are young, old, they must remember God all the time, if they are in spare time or in leisurely time. At last, I would advise to all the people, those who are interested in God, that they must follow the path of truth, and the path of truth leads us to God. That's more. Again I will see you. Thank you. Best of luck. देखत आवत कि ना हो एमे